Do you want to have your face sat on? Okay, that's a trick question because obviously who doesn't want to have their face sat on? I have taught this move to thousands of pussy lovers, mainly women, okay? Because my content is for queer women and pussy loving, gender fluid people. But this is mainly for my newly out queer women, because when you first come out, the thing you want to do the most is have your face set on. You want to get in there, right? You want to eat the puss. I know that was certainly my experience, but it's very intimidating, okay? Because you're like, well, what do I do? How does this work? Like, how does the breathing thing work? So I'm going to teach you all of this. I'm going to teach you the stuff that I wish had have been available as information when I first came out and I was having to work all of this out. And by the way, I didn't just work this out on my own. I have learnt some of my best moves, including the move that you are about to learn, from seasoned lesbians. Besides being a certified pussy eater, I also have been a sex educator and a sex columnist for around a decade now. So I know what I'm teaching you. So let's just get straight into it. The first thing I'm going to teach you about face sitting is we don't go straight into this, okay? One of the biggest mistakes you can possibly make is wanting to go straight for getting her to sit on your face, okay? Particularly if this is like one of your first times with this person, she's not gonna be comfortable enough yet, babe. If you've watched a single video of mine, if you've consumed any of my content, then you know about the brain-vagina loop. And that is essentially this connection between the brain and the puss, right? And basically all it means is that if we can't get our mind into the game, right? Like I'm not getting my mind into the game right now, quite clearly, because I'm tripping over my words, but if we can't let go up here, okay? Let rid of all the stress, all of the concern of how our bodies look, if we're taking too long, all of these concerns that we have, if we can't let go up here, she's not coming to the party. This is something you're doing after you've done lots of over the clothes, touching, dry humping, grinding, making out, fingering, other things. You should know the other things if you've watched my channel, and if you are new here, go and watch some of my other videos. But if you want a visual, because we can't show that kind of thing here on YouTube, you can go and check out a little platform called Cheeks. Cheeks is an ethical porn platform. It's quite frankly the only that I consume, because as someone who teaches this stuff for a living, I am really put off watching mainstream porn because I know how unrealistic it is. I enjoy watching X-rated content where people are genuinely being pleasured in the right way, and I know that they are genuinely getting off. And most importantly, the women that are in Cheeks, those are women who are genuinely queer, and they happen to be a partner of this channel. So I've gotten you a little discount code with them, okay? Because spoiler alert, if you watch ethical porn, you have to pay, yeah? Because performers deserve to be paid for their labor. That's kind of the whole thing that makes it ethical. You can use my code Nadia7 and get Cheeks for 7 days for free when you sign up for their annual plan. This code's only going to work if you sign up for their annual plan, but don't worry, you're not locked in. You can cancel anytime. So if you literally just want to try it for a week, totally go ahead. And because I'm getting very high tech, I've also put somewhere on the screen here a QR code. So you can also just go ahead, scan this code with your phone. I would recommend it just so you can actually see what lesbians do, and maybe have some alone time while you're watching it, because it's very enjoyable. Once you have watched some actual content, so you can see what people with pussies are really doing together, what you're going to see is that comfort is king. You know, as a woman yourself, if your partner's going there, right? They're giving you head, they're putting in some of their best work, but you look down and you sense that they're a little bit uncomfy, are you gonna get off? No, babe. Of course you're not. And this is more so with face sitting, because every woman has the completely irrational fear, self included. I don't have it anymore, quite frankly, but I had it for a long time, just like we've all had it. And that is that we have this fear that we're going to crush you. Yeah, we're going to sit on your face and we're going to crush your skull. Yeah, which is, it's irrational because it's not a thing. It's never happened, okay? There are no recorded cases in all of history of people going out that way. And also, can I just say, as a personal aside, if I have to go out anyway, it's kind of how I want to go. When women have this fear, what we do is a little something that I like to call the hover. And the hover is where pleasure and any chance of an orgasm goes to die. And that's because when a woman hovers, what she's doing is she's not sitting all the way down. Yeah, she's just hovering just that little bit above your face, right? And what that means is you're having to tilt your neck. So you're having to like come up to meet the puss. Putting your neck in this position where you're coming forward and you're holding it like that for an extended period of time, that is a recipe for a visit to the physio, right? Quite frankly, it's one of the most painful sex injuries that you can have. You never ever want to be trying to eat puss like that. Your neck needs to be relaxed, babe, okay? This idea that you have to get yourself in these pretzeled up, uncomfortable positions to please your partner, that's coming from patriarchal heteronormative conditioning. If you've been with men, especially, you're used to your comfort not mattering, right? Because let's face it, a man is not going to be able to not come because he's worried that your neck maybe isn't in the best position. Yeah, that's never stopped a man from having an orgasm, okay? If he looks down, he's like, oh, she might be a bit uncomfy. Yeah, he's still gonna come, okay? But a woman, it's game over. Now, the best and most effective way to do this is by where you position yourself when you offer the seat. And what I recommend, you'll see it behind me in the background, is a wall or a bed head. So as the person who is offering the seat, you're gonna lay on your back, all right? And your head is going to be right up near the wall or the bed head. So that when she straddles over your face, she now has something to kind of prop herself against, right? So she can put her hands up there, and when she sits down, it means that she's able to control how much weight she puts into that sit, yeah? But because she feels that she can control it, it's going to allow her to relax and sit all the way down. You are going to grab onto her thighs and you are going to pull. You're going to literally pull her down onto you, okay? This is a great way of ensuring that you get the puss exactly where it needs to be, so you are not tilting your neck up at all. You are comfy as hell, and it's a very visual way of like really just showing her that you're comfy. We want to be having lots of breathing room. People often disregard this bit because they're like, I don't care if I'm only breathing out of one nostril, it doesn't matter. I'm so happy to be up in the pussy and I'm so happy to be pleasing my woman. But you need to remember that that's not going to be sustainable for a really long period, right? Trying to breathe out of one nostril, it's not going to get you through a particularly long period of time. And she's going to see that you're only breathing out of one nostril, and she's going to feel rushed because she knows you're not getting a lot of airflow. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to, when you pull her down, you're going to pull her down to position her so that her clit, it's over your mouth, okay? Because that's all we're worried about. There's no other part of the puss that you need to be focusing on with your mouth. It's literally just the clit. That means that she's going to be sitting lower down on your face when you pull her down. So your nose, it's going to be free. It's going to be free to take in that precious airflow, and then you can do your best work. And then what I want you to do is do a little something that I call the ice cream lick. And it is exactly what it sounds like. You're going to be mimicking licking an ice cream using a flat, relaxed tongue, right? Just that constant, even strokes with the tongue. And the reason we do this is because you're getting that evenly dispersed pressure, which is really important on the clitoris, because the clitoris is this big bundle of nerve endings, right? There's around 8,000 nerve endings estimated in there, maybe more. That's why we can have such explosive orgasms as pussy owners, but also if it's handled wrong, we can also get super irritated, okay? Because a lot of nerve endings. We want to be treating them right. So this is just like a crowd pleaser. If you're new to pussy eating, this is always the move that I recommend you start with, is the ice cream lick. It doesn't disappoint. You can build up pressure if she needs more pressure. And the great thing with having her sit on your face is that if she needs more pressure, she can kind of push more into her to get that pressure so that she's kind of communicating with her body what she needs. But you can start out gentle and work up. Never, ever lose that contact. We want constant contact with the clit, just licking back and forth, back and forth. This idea that a lot of us have been given, usually from going on Google and watching really bad porn, which is why I recommend you go and check out some ethical porn like Cheeks. We get these ideas that eating puss is all about being creative, right? They're always changing things up. Yeah, you got to do the alphabet, got to do the ABCs with your tongue, you got to do this, you got to do that. No, the puss doesn't want to be surprised. It doesn't want to be constantly kept guessing. It wants repetition and predictability. Any woman who has ever gotten close to orgasm, who has felt herself getting there, her partner's doing something great, and you're like, oh yeah, this is it. This is the moment. I think I'm gonna, oh my God, I'm gonna, and then your partner has switched something up, it's gone. That is why when you find that perfect pressure and frequency and consistency, you just want to be rinse and repeat, copy paste, babe. And we're going to be doing that for a while we're gripping onto the thighs nice and tight. Squeeze them, enjoy them, okay? Not too hard unless she's into that, because that's also going to show her that you're having a good time. Once we're like several minutes in, all right, and you'll know when to move to this stage, because you're going to feel that things have gotten extremely juicy, okay? If you're doing your job right, it's going to get very, very wet. That is when you are going to introduce these. Some people will go with like these middle two. It's not comfortable for me, so I'm personally a fan of these, but either's fine. We're just getting 2 fingers, all right? And we're going to be putting them underneath the chin like this. We're coming up. You're using that as a kind of a place to rest your fingers, and you're going to go in. We're going into the vagina, and once you get in there, you're going to very slightly start bringing them toward yourself, right? Like you're beckoning someone, like come over here. This is how we come. While you're doing this, you're continuing the ice cream lick, and then we're putting those 2 fingers very slowly. Don't be rushing this. Don't be jamming them in. No one wants that. We're going to be pushing them in and bringing them forward. Now, if when you start to go in, you feel a bit of resistance, that means you've rushed, okay? And we're going to be just taking those fingers away, going back to focusing on the ice cream lick. If you've been doing things right, when you go to put your fingers in, they're going to slide in quite easily. Obviously, women aren't human waterfalls, okay? Sometimes you can be doing everything right and the puss just can't get wet enough because factors like menopause, aging, stress, illness, certain types of medication, birth control, all sorts of things can affect how wet we're able to get. So don't take it personally, okay? And if you're a woman who can't get all the way wet, you're not broken, babe. Don't feel bad about it. You also are allowed to use lube. There's a more squishy area, a softer area, about 1 inch inside. That's the G spot. You curl around and you push down and there's like a ledge. You want to just keep pressing into that, right? Like palpitating while you're doing the ice cream lick, and let her really move into it. This is the great thing about face sitting, is once she's comfortable, she can control the pressure and the speed with her own body. Use that to kind of lead you, right? So if she's leaning forward, that means you want to be putting your fingers further forward. If she's leaning back, you want to be moving those fingers back a bit. Follow her cues, and if you get this right, I call it the face melter for a reason. Your face is going to be melted, her face is going to be melted. And like I said, if you want inspo, you can go ahead and check out Cheeks. The link is beneath this video, or also you can scan the QR code, use my code Nadia7 and get it for 7 days for free when you sign up to their annual plan. What a lot of you all might not realize is I actually could not make this content for you all, provide you with this sex education, if it wasn't for sponsors like Cheeks, yeah? Because YouTube demonetizes the hell out of this stuff. All social media platforms do. They really don't want women to have a good time, it would seem. Particularly queer women, right? They just really don't want to support us in that. So thank you, Cheeks. I hope you'll go and try it out. Go and have some good self-love and time to that. I'm about to go and do the same myself, and enjoy that face melter move. You can thank me later. Bye guys. Mwah.